I'm John Underkoffler. I am Chief Scientist and co-founder of Oblong Industries. Well, it was absolutely my honor to present the keynote at this year's DSE. I felt actually speaking that I was kind of among people who really understood what I had to say, the perspective that Oblong brings, and that particular future that we're all chasing together, where it's no longer about the devices, it's about the content, it's about the pixels, it's about what shows up and who really cares what's behind it. That's the inversion, the flip that we see coming in the next 5 years, and you guys are at the forefront. At Oblong's laboratory headquarters in Los Angeles, we're trying to build the future of computers, basically, and for us, that starts and ends with the interface, with the UI. Because that's what you have as a human being. You've got the UI. It's the stuff you can see and ideally touch. For us, we're chasing a much richer experience than you can get today from a mouse. That's an experience that's already 30 years old, so that no longer seems adequate. We build systems that are gesturally driven, so you can point at screens, move content around from screen to screen. And that last thing that I said there is absolutely as critical as the kind of sci-fi gesture part. The idea that information, that applications, that your data, that your stuff is no longer confined to a single device or a single display, but rather that you can pick it up off of one and toss it to another or drag it onto your phone or your mobile computing device, whatever that is critical. That's got to be the future, and we're working as hard as we can to build the operating system-like layers and all of the software that's going to make that possible. I just love seeing so many pixels, frankly. It sort of warms my heart. The bezels are getting thinner, stuff's getting collaged in all sorts of interesting ways, and people are really obviously interested in the interaction. And from where I sit, or stand when I'm not sitting, it's the interaction that's key. That's got to be the sort of the 10-year horizon, well, much sooner than that really, for digital signage, because otherwise it's just sort of broadcast. It's one directional, presentation. So the real question is, what's it going to be like? What does it mean for a single person to approach a display, a sign, and do something meaningful with it? Even more to the point, what does it mean for two people or a small crowd of people to receive a meaningful experience and interact meaningfully with a display or a set of displays? I've been chasing these ideas for a long time, for more than 2 decades. And at first that was in an academic context. But what really made the difference for me, I think, was the opportunity to refine those ideas, refine the idea of a next generation UI, user interface, in the context of a motion picture. So working on Minority Report forced a lot of the issues, forced those systems to become simpler, and even though we were depicting them fictionally in the film, they had to look like they were real. And for that to be true, we had to essentially build them. We had to design them all the way down to the smallest detail. And once you've done that, I thought, well, you may as well build it for real. So coming out the other side of that experience, a bunch of like-minded scientists and engineers and business folks, and I got together to start Oblong to take this fictional stuff that we'd built for the film and build it for real. Absolutely, and that's really the grail, isn't it, of imaging. So stuff that can flip from 2D to 3D. It needs to be autostereoscopic, so glasses are not acceptable. The problem with glasses is that, well, they're heavy and they can give you a headache if they're not well adjusted, but even if that weren't the case, they're the opposite of participatory, because if you're looking at something and you've got glasses on and you're thrilled and you're giggling or you're screaming or whatever it is, I have no idea what it is, right? Because I don't have glasses on. So autostereoscopic 3D displays are where it's at and where it's got to go. And there's great work being done by Zebra Imaging down in Austin, Texas, and other companies like that. So we'll get there eventually, but it's a hard problem. This is John. I'm speaking to you live, although not by the time you see this recorded, but at the moment I'm live here in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada at the Digital Signage Expo 2012. This is where the future's at, and happy birthday, DSE.